afternoon, everybody. It's Miss Vicki, and I'm back this morning, or whatever time you're watching, with my new weekly recap of Sarasota Tim. Now, this week I did it a little differently. I just kind of took notes. Now, one day I guess Monday I started out being a little longer with my notes, and then I cut it back because I thought I don't want to make this video really long, because I know people's got better things to do. I hope that everyone is safe this morning. I know that a big majority of the country has been going through some terrible weather this weekend, and I hope everyone is okay and that no one you know is suffering or had any kind of damages. We had some wind this morning, and of course we've had some rain, but nothing heavy yet. Now there is a backside to this storm that we're supposed to get later on this afternoon. It's moving pretty fast, so I hope it'll be out of here soon. Of course, it's supposed to be cold once it stops, because there's a cold front, always at the end of these fronts. And I think tomorrow the high is only supposed to be 50, whereas the high today is in the 70s. So, that's just the way it is in spring. I know we're not officially in calendar spring, but we are in meteorological spring. Okay, I'm having my coffee this morning. The coffee I'm having is a new coffee to me. It's called Don Francisco's Kona Blend. I love Kona Blend coffee. I saw this on Walmart.com. Of course, they don't have it in my store, so I had to order it. It wasn't that expensive. I'll list it down below if you like to try Kona coffee. I know that, the person that's got me on looking at coffee more closely is Scott of Static Van Man. He says he's not a coffee connoisseur, but I kind of think he is. He prefers light roast, whereas I prefer medium to dark. This is what I would consider a light medium. It's not dark, and it's definitely not full-bodied medium. It is very smooth. So if you like that type, and I think you would definitely enjoy this coffee. Of course, Kona Blend, is Hawaiian, I believe. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that, because I'm not no coffee expert. Or it comes from the islands. I don't know. I need to shut up. All right. Because I didn't research it, and I should have before I even said anything. So anyway, we're going to start with Monday. He's into talking about recession and that we need to talk about a correction. This is Monday, March 10th. I didn't say that. And it is raining in Sarasota today. Of course, he buys his coffee with 5 creams. This was the large coffee. I assume when he buys the large coffee that Miss Tammy is purchasing his coffee for him. Because normally when he's buying, he won't pay, that much. And it's just because there's just certain things I think he wants to spend his money on. And he likes to get the senior coffee, although he said some McDonald's don't have senior coffee, so maybe that one don't. I don't know. Anyway, he says he's got plenty of money, but he's not worried about it. Well, he's spending her money, so he's not worried about it. Or Dwayne's money, shall we say. Okay. He asked the question if anyone's been to the Ruth Chris Steakhouse. And I don't know why he asked that question. I guess he rode by one. I was at Ruth Chris one time. It's all right. I think it's overpriced. But, the food is good, but I still think it's overpriced. Of course, every steakhouse today I've been looking at seems to be overpriced. I was looking at, I want to say Trace Atkins, but it's not. Jason, I can't think of his name right now. My names are going to blank because I've been talking about Tim. But anyway, his restaurant, and I may have even talked about this before in a car vlog. I don't know if I uploaded it, but anyway, the steak was, I know I told Dave, the steak was like $85. There's a ribeye steak on the menu, and it was $85. And I thought, is that a misprint? And then I looked at the one in Nashville. The one in Nashville was $92. So it's not a misprint. I can't imagine paying that much for a steak. I'll just eat it at home if that's what I have to pay. I like a good steak from a restaurant, but not $85 worth. I don't care who made it. All right. So he tells everybody to check his subscriptions. You know, that he thinks, once again, he thinks people are constantly being unsubscribed. And I do agree that that happens. So check yours on mine. I don't know that it happens as much as Tim claims it does. Because if you watch his subscribers, they stay pretty much the same. Once in a while, they'll go up. But most of the time, it's just like all of us. Unless I'm buying the ad space, mine doesn't go anywhere. And it's been that way for years. And I mean, I didn't start buying the ads until, a few months ago. And I don't have any right now. I said I wasn't going to buy none for a while. And I'm not. I don't plan on it unless, they want to give me a good deal. Now, I do have people from Google now calling me all the time. I don't know if they're actually, telling me they can help me grow my channel. And I don't know if that's, I hesitate. But then I looked online and it said it is truly Google calling you. And then I thought, well, I could get an inside track into, but is this just really for me to buy more ads? Anyway, I haven't talked to them. I ignore the calls. And I, don't call them back. So anyway, we're going to move on from that. Of course, he tells everybody to use his Amazon link and that the commission he gets is a nice little bonus. Well, of course it is. Anytime we make commission off of something, it's a nice little bonus. And he says he's close to making travel plans, which we know is not true. And that he also says, and this is what I found ironic in this video, and then we're going to move on to the next one, is he says, don't ever boast about anything. I've never known anybody that boasts more than Sarasota Tim. But yet he tells you not to boast about anything. You ask God first if it's his will. Well, he may say that, but we know he boasts about everything. Anyway, he goes into talking more about Trump and politics, and I'm not going to get into that. I mean, let me just look real quick if I might have wrote something down that I need to. He talks about 401 like he's, he never says K, like it's, that he actually has one now and that he's buying stock, please. And he's also calling it a correction. And I thought that was what the Biden administration called it. I haven't heard if Trump called it that. He may have. I don't know. And, I try not to keep up with that mess anymore. I don't care enough about it every day. I know that life is short. And there's not one thing I can do about what the president is doing. Except go vote every 4 years. And chances are the president is not going to really, I need to worry more about my local area than I do the president. But now, the main thing I will say about the president, and this is why I voted, is I care about the border. I care about the border and keeping this country safe. And I did not think Biden was doing that for us. So there I said it. Okay, the cricket video. He showed crickets. They're not crickets, they're grasshoppers. I can't remember the scientific name, but they're grasshoppers, not crickets. Maybe cricket is part of the grasshopper family. I don't know. Anyway, what he was showing was grasshoppers. And he hashtagged that video Social Security. Sorry, I hit the table. Okay, do the grasshoppers draw Social Security? Are they paying into the system? Do I need to start hashtagging all my videos Social Security, even though I don't talk about Social Security? I mean, I don't get why YouTube lets him get by with that. I know he talks about Social Security sometimes, but a video about crickets? All right. Then he talks about Guard Corps Legend giving him $100. I hesitate to even bring that up. Guard Corps Legend was one of those that he first started out with Tim on the fence. Then he kind of went, he kind of come over to our side. And I'm not trying to say make sides, but he was questioning what Tim was doing. Now, all of a sudden, he loves Tim, think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I don't get it. He acts like he feels guilty. And he never said anything really bad about him to start with that I felt or that I saw. I didn't watch all of his videos. but I didn't feel he ever said anything that bad. So I'm not sure what he's apologizing for. You know, if I probably, you know, I mean, I guess to Tim or to some people, I've said things bad about him, but I've never said anything that I would not say to his face. As I've said before, if we were sitting here having a cup of coffee together and he wanted my opinion, I would tell him. That's what good friends do. And if he trusts that good friend, like he's with JJ now, and I hope JJ's telling him some of this stuff that he goes too far with. Maybe not, but I hope he is. All right, let's go on to day 311. He's on the way to the eye doctor. Says, hello, you 100,614 souls. Now, we know that is something that he likes to do, talk about his, you know, he used to say a lot more than that or whatever. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, this is just an inside joke with Tim, that he feels he has a lot more viewers than what they say he does. I don't know what YouTube does, how they count views. He may have, but it just, to a new viewer, it looks ridiculous, or it sounds ridiculous when they look at your views, when the best thing you could do is just not even talk about them. That's me. All right, Dave in Connecticut sent him some more coffee money, or some coffee money. I don't know who that is, but that's good for them. Okay, he talks about the Narcissist body spray, and I'm bringing this up for one reason, is I looked up that body spray. It's from Buff City Soap or something like that. And I found out they have a location very close to me. So I'm going to try to go there in the next few weeks. And maybe the person that runs the store, I don't know if it's chain or franchise or whatever it is, they can, they'll talk to me and they'll tell me the history of the Narcissist body spray. They also have the laundry detergent, the soap, and I think they have the hand soap. I would like to try the hand soap. The fragrance does sound nice, but we know body sprays, body mist does not last very long. They're you know, high in alcohol content. So I would like to see it. Now, I don't know who bought them this. I think maybe Bev might have bought it, gave it to him. I don't know. And if anybody knows, they can correct me. But anyway, I do think it sounds like a nice scent, and I do want, y'all know I love body products, so when I found out there was one close to me, I thought, I've got to go. Maybe we'll go next weekend. I'm not sure. Okay, he says he got 10,000 to 12,000 steps in on Monday. Okay, I have tried my best to get 10,000 steps. It is a lot. I don't care, unless you are somebody that's on your feet all day, or you are just, you know, you're actually wanting to walk 5 miles a day or something like that. It's hard to get that many steps. Now, some people may tell me, oh, it's easy for me, and it's fine. That's fine if it is. But for me, I find it very difficult. I would love to see him show it on camera, on his watch. See, I don't even have my watch on right now. I don't put my watch on until I go out. So I'm not counting my steps. I'm not that obsessed with it, I guess. And maybe that's why I don't ever know if I get my steps in. I'm just not going to, you know, I guess if I was really into it, maybe, but I guess I'm not. It's just not worth it to me. Okay, this was a boring video as usual. He talks about selling cars and having his own business and all that junk. And we know he's never right with the figures. You know, he says what he wants to at the time, and it's not any big deal. Okay, we're going to the fireside chat, and I got to move on because I always add in my comments too much. Okay, he's talking about taking out his own stitches. Of course, we know he did not do that. So we're going to move on from that. He talks about traveling, talking about his truck. Now, he says he has an F-250. I thought he had an F-150. Was it a mistake? Did I hear him wrong? Am I wrong? Does he have an F-250? I don't know. I don't care. It's just his constantly going back. He talks about that he's leaning toward Laughlin again, of course. He may not go there. Mentions, you know, of course, staying at the Tropicana and loves Truck Stop. But due to finances, he may not even go that far. He's talked about coming to North Carolina. No, Tim, we don't need you up here. We're full. Our campgrounds are still, they have locals staying in them if they're even open from the weather. If you want to go to the coast of North Carolina, have at it, but not Western North Carolina. We're full. We don't need you. That is, unless you're willing to work and help people. Then you can come. Y'all know I'm being funny. All right. 312. Okay, he had his little scan on his body to see if he's all clogged up. He was mad because he had to pay $70. Of course, the girl was nice that, checked him out. Well, I mean, that's their job. They're going to be nice. Unless you're being ugly to them, I think most people are nice. He was mad because the man in front of him only paid $10. Well, it depends on the plan you have, Tim, what you pay. And then he gets the results later on. And of course, it's nothing like, well, we're going too far. So let me talk about this right here before we get to what he talked about on Thursday and Friday. He talks about Trump not being able to drive the Tesla that he bought from Elon or bought from Tesla. And my joke was Prince Barron will drive it. And I love to call him Prince Barron because I know it ticks some people off that think that Trump is trying to be a dictator. And I'd do the same thing if it was the other way around. I just like being sarcastic. No matter which one's in, I like being sarcastic to the other one. All right. Video continues to be boring, so I just cut it off. Talks about Honda refusing doing his oil change. Follow what they say, Tim. I mean, if you got a warranty, just do what they say. There's no reason. He just wants to obsess about things that, I don't know. If he wants to go get an oil change, go get an oil change somewhere else and pay for it. Okay, he says he got his on Thursday, he gets his score in, and he says it's 1,575, which is considered high. Now, from what I read online from Google, it said 400 is considered high. And anything above that, you're, I guess, a walking time bomb. I don't know. Now, according to what Blindview said, what his doctor said was that anything over 0 is high. Now, I just find that a person that is older, I'm going to say over 50 years old, if they don't have some plaque built up or something, then I guess they eat perfect. I don't know. I just can't believe that, 15 or, would be considered high. I think anything under 100 would probably be okay. But I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me on that. You do what you need to do as far as the way you eat. I'm not going to promote any kind of diet anymore. I just do what I do. And if I lose weight with it, I lose weight with it. As long as my blood work is coming out all right and I'm not diabetic, I'm fine. Okay, he claimed he walked to the top of the building again at Nathan Benderson Park. Of course, I say Bendover Park. And I wanted to ask Dan, and I forgot this, to see if there was an elevator there that he could possibly ride sometimes. Now, I will say this day, he did sound like he was a little bit breathy, so maybe he did walk it, but I don't know. I find it hard to believe that he walks it all the time. If he worked out as much as he says he does, he would not be gaining weight. And we know, or I feel, I'm not going to say we, okay, I think the reason he's been going to buy new clothes is that he's outgrown the other clothes he has. He buys too snug of clothing, I believe. And if he's buying stuff that shrinks, well, you know what's going to happen after you wear it a few times and wash it. You're not going to be able to wear it anymore. That shirt I had on yesterday, I felt was way too tight. It looked like something Tim would wear. I don't wear my shirts that tight. So, anyway, that's why I had on that jacket over it. All right, on Friday, he's on the way to the Villages. I feel he's running from Dan. A grown man running from somebody. And I don't understand why he can't just let it be and then go on. They don't have to become best buddies or anything like that. they can just say hello, be done. Tim say, no, I don't want to do an interview or anything like that, and go on. I mean, Dan's not going to do anything mean or anything like that. You know, just let it be. I'm not sure I understand why Dan wants to meet him. I don't know. But that's not, you know, I would not want to meet him, especially after he told in the video that he didn't want to meet any other YouTubers. So I just say the heck with you and go on. Now, I will say that I did watch I did see that he's at the Villages, that he said they were going to the range and they went and ate Chinese. He said something about eating mashed potatoes, and you know, I could be the food police here and all this and say you shouldn't supposed to eat that. But like I said, I'm not going to be the food police anymore on anybody. They can be accountable for their own way. I myself could not do the Mediterranean diet, but that's just me. So, and then I was watching the chat at night where he's sitting there in the bedroom and he says, in my room, and I'm like, oh, please. And I had to cut it off because I couldn't, you know, I get these spells where I just can't take him anymore. And I'll get over it and go back and watch. Anyway, I'm going to close for now. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great Sunday or whenever you watch this. It is St. Patrick's Day weekend, and that I got on my Shenanigans Coordinator sweatshirt. And, you know, I love St. Patrick's Day. I always have. Always had a good time when I used to go out. Of course, I don't go out anymore. It's always been a dream of mine to go to Savannah on St. Patrick's Day. And, you know, maybe one day I will. I don't want to go when it's on a Monday. That's just, I don't know, just not what I want to do. I might go when it's on a Thursday or Friday again. I might think about going it those years, but I know that also that it may not work out that way. But anyway, that's just, I've always just wanted to go there and see what it's like, because Savannah has one of the best St. Patrick's Day celebrations in the country. Even people from Ireland come over to Savannah to celebrate. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. And I will talk to y'all later. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.